Hello and welcome back to Transfer Talk. With plenty of stories circulating throughout Europe this week, let's get straight into it. We kick things off with Aston Villa and their Brazilian midfielder Douglas Luiz, who according to Italian outfit Il Milanista, has been linked to the move to San Siro to join the reigning Serie A champions AC Milan. Luiz had been consistently linked with the exit door at Villa Park throughout the course of the summer transfer window, with Arsenal having been in talks to sign him all the way through until the final hours of deadline day. However, the midfielder ended up staying put in the Midlands, with Villa not happy with the offers put forward by the Gunners, with their final £25 million transfer offer being rejected by the club, deciding to hold on to a player who is seen as an important figure in the middle of the park. The Brazilian international was said to be keen to leave the club this summer, and it looks like the January window will likely see him attempt to exit again, with Milan having reportedly discussed the potential move with Luiz's entourage. Whilst Villa may not want to lose their man, they may see themselves with little other choice. The 24-year-old's contract expires next summer, meaning he will be free to negotiate a pre-contract with any suitors in the winter window. Although Milan's pursuit of Luiz may not be a straightforward one, with Arsenal still in the picture, as well as fellow Serie A rivals Roma, Juventus, as well as other Premier League sides including Chelsea and Liverpool. With growing pressure to avoid losing their man on a free, will Gerrard's side buckle in January and accept a lower cash offer? Or will he walk out on a Bosman next summer? It's certainly one to keep an eye on. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Speaking of Arsenal and their pursuit of midfielders, our next story links the Gunners with another player who was previously on their radar in Manuel Locatelli, according to a report from Calcio Mercato. The Italian international is currently at Juventus on loan from Sassuolo, with the Bianconeri agreeing to a 2-year loan deal, with the obligation to buy the player for €35 million on the conclusion of the agreement. However, the Euro 2020 winner is said to have not been convinced by Max Allegri this season, with the player having reportedly fallen down the pecking order of the Italian coach, with Arsenal said to be poised to make a move for the midfielder should he become available. The Gunners were previously linked to the move for Locatelli prior to him joining Juve, with the Premier League outfit actually offering a bigger fee to Sassuolo than what Juventus did. However, the player wanted to play for the 36-time Serie A champions. Just how much the operation could cost Arteta's side is unclear, given the obligation in the loan agreement for Locatelli. However, they are said to be attentive to how the situation develops in regard to his future at the Allianz Stadium. With the club also monitoring the future of Douglas Luiz alongside Juve, it remains to be seen which target Arsenal will move for in the coming months. If you were Arteta though, which one would you want to bring in? Let us know in the comments below. Moving on to our next entry now, which takes us over to the East Midlands with Leicester City, who could be set to see another defender leave the club in the not too distant future, with Mundo Deportivo suggesting SOYUNCU could be set to move to the La Liga side Atletico Madrid. It doesn't seem like all that long ago that the Turkish international was a mainstay in the Foxes' defensive line, seeing himself nominated in the PFA Team of the Year only as recently as 2019-20, whilst also winning the FA Cup and Community Shield with the club too. However, things have taken quite a turn of late. Entering the final year of his deal, it appears that SOYUNCU is no longer deemed an important part of Brendan Rodgers' side, even after seeing Wesley Fofana leave in a big money move to Chelsea. In fact, the defender is so out of favour at the moment that he has not played a single minute of Premier League football this season, having been exiled from the matchday squad for the last 3 straight games. Having not made a single appearance since the EFL Cup game in August, the player's future at the King Power looks all but sealed. Although despite persistent links throughout the summer to clubs all over Europe, he remained at Leicester. With his contract set to expire and there seemingly being no plans for him to play for Rodgers' side, he's once again being linked with an exit, as Atletico Madrid are said to be interested in signing the Turkish international. The Spanish outlet has stated that Los Colchoneros are keen to secure his services on a free, and Turkey's national team head coach Hüseyin Ergalo has linked the player with an Atleti move in a press conference recently. This one looks likely to be done, but it surely won't be completed before the World Cup in Qatar. If you were SOYUNCU, do you think you'd try and force the club to terminate your contract early to guarantee your spot at the World Cup? Let us know what you do in the comments below. Switching things over to Chelsea now, who according to Football Transfers could be set to allow Trevoh Chalobah to leave the club on loan in the winter market. The 23-year-old has seen himself slide down the pecking order, particularly after the arrival of Kalidou Koulibaly and Wesley Fofana, who will compete for places alongside Thiago Silva at the heart of the backline for the Blues. With chances of a starting place in the team looking less and less likely, the club is said to be willing to allow him to leave on loan, in order to gain regular playing time and continue his development, having signed him to a new long-term contract which expires in 2027. Former Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho is said to be keen on bringing the player to Roma, with the Giallorossi said to be the front runners to secure his services on a short-term deal. Having played just one game in the Premier League this season under previous manager Thomas Tuchel, CHALOBAH may have hoped for a fresh start under Graham Potter. However, he was left as an unused substitute in the Englishman's first game in charge against RB Salzburg. Should the defender wish to get game time, it looks as if his best shot is away from Stamford Bridge for now, and the opportunity to link up with former Chelsea player Tammy Abraham at Roma, who has enjoyed a stellar stint since joining the club, may be too good to turn down. Could the 23-year-old be the latest Brit to find success abroad? You know what to do. On to our next entry now, which sees us move to Man United, who could be interested in a potential move for France international Antoine Griezmann, according to a report from The Athletic. The forward is currently in the second of his 2-year loan deal at Atletico Madrid, having returned to the Wanda Metropolitano from Barcelona. However, the two clubs seem to be at loggerheads, with Los Rojiblancos only starting him in one game all season, having otherwise only ever brought him on after the hour mark, as a means of avoiding activating a clause that would mean they would be obligated to buy him. Barca is said to be considering legal action over the situation. However, this leaves the future of Griezmann looking somewhat unclear. United are said to be willing to pounce on the situation though, should Atleti be unable to make a move permanent next summer. With the future of Ronaldo still uncertain, the Red Devils are looking at options to help solidify the future of their front line, having already moved the Atleti forward as recently as this past summer in an unsuccessful attempt. The 31-year-old has a purchase clause of €40 million in his deal, which becomes mandatory should he play a certain amount of games for Atleti. Barca is said to be keen to sell the player for that figure, with the club having no intentions of retaining him. Would he be a good addition for Ten Hag though? You can keep up to date with this story via the Sky Transfer Centre by scanning the QR code on screen now. Over to the blue side of Manchester now with what could be seen as one of the more outlandish stories of the week from Footy Insider 247, who have claimed that Jack Grealish will leave Man City next summer. The report states that the Englishman has informed those close to him that he does not see himself remaining at the Etihad beyond next year, having already asked his agent to begin looking for potential suitors. Whilst it can be argued that the former Aston Villa captain has struggled to showcase his best form since joining the Citizens, it seems hard to believe the club will allow him to leave so early on in his stint, considering their £100 million outlay for the player last summer. Grealish has come out as recently as this month discussing his time at the club, stating that he feels he was settling in last season, but now wants to perform to the level that made the reigning league champions want to sign him. With the England international seemingly keen on proving his doubters wrong, and the fact that he is one of their marquee players, it looks unlikely that he'll be leaving the Etihad anytime soon. On to our final entry now, and we go over to Liverpool, who according to Spanish outlet Diario AS, are considering a second attempt to secure Real Madrid midfielder Federico Valverde for a club record fee. AS reported that the Reds had made an offer of around £80 million for the Champions League winning midfielder, an offer that was shut down by Real, who is said to be completely uninterested in entertaining any offers for the player. However, Liverpool remain undeterred by Los Blancos' refusal to enter negotiations, with Klopp's side said to be considering a huge January swoop for the Uruguay international that would break their club record purchase fee, with a €100 million offer being prepared. It is no secret that the 6-time Champions League winners are desperate for options in the middle of the park, with Henderson and Thiago both in their 30s, and Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita and James Milner all expected to leave next summer. Although their pursuit of Valverde seems to be one that will be a tall order to pull off, the 23-year-old is one of Real's regular starters, and has just signed an extension to keep him at the Bernabeu until 2027. With the reigning La Liga champions unlikely to budge, do you think Liverpool should consider other potential targets, and if so, who? Let us know in the comments below. Our final entry takes us over to Barcelona, who could be set to see the departure of midfield stalwart Sergio Busquets next summer, with the legend deciding to end his time at the club according to a report from Diario Sport. The Barca captain has been at the club since 2008, having risen through the ranks of La Masia. However, there have been doubts about his long-term future at the club, with his contract set to conclude next summer. Xavi has wasted little time in considering his next move, with the former World Cup winner eyeing up potential replacements that include Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi and Wolverhampton Wanderers midfielder Ruben Neves. Zubimendi is expected to cost around €60 million, which is his current reported release clause, whilst Neves may be a little cheaper, with a suggested fee of around €40 million. Whilst Wolves have spent the majority of the summer fending off interest in the Portuguese international, they may have to consider selling sooner rather than later, with his deal entering his final 2 years. With Busquets certain to leave, the potential to join Xavi's project at Barca may be enough to tempt Neves into trading Molineux for Camp Nou. But would it be the right move? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So guys, that was transfer talk for another week. What did you guys think of the roundup, and what do you think of Liverpool offering that potential huge amount for Fede Valverde? Personally, I feel it's incredibly unlikely that Real Madrid would accept. Guys, if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to like it and subscribe to Football Daily, and I'll catch you next time.